I think in terms of the potential for nuclear use, I am persuaded that we are in a very, very dangerous situation. There is no trust. There are no military-to-military interactions. The dangers for miscalculation, accidents, and escalation from a mistake, I think, are enormous. There is a loss of institutional memory. The parties who are making decisions, particularly in Washington, but also to a considerable extent in Moscow, have forgotten the close calls that we've had in the past. We have no empathy with the other party. And it's not, I mean, the same applies, I would argue, to a large extent on the Russian side. There's very little empathy in terms of the U.S., although it's very difficult for me to empathize also, to understand what's going on in Washington. But I think it is this, the loss of the human factor, the contacts, the loss of institutional memory, and the absence of routine interactions, particularly involving military-to-military relations, that makes this a very, very dangerous situation, and makes it much more likely that if there's an accident, a mishap, a mistake, that things will get out of control and escalate. It may require a Cuban Missile Crisis to recreate an atmosphere in which we work more closely together to reduce nuclear risks. The problem is we have no assurance that the outcome of the next Cuban Missile Crisis will be one in which we have any time on our hands to negotiate further cuts in nuclear weapons or to put in place nuclear risk reduction measures. I think there's a tendency to rely far too much on luck when it comes both to combating nuclear terrorism and the spread and use of nuclear weapons. And I don't think that luck is in great supply.